It's the Reflection Show with me, Martha Alabila. Today we want to look at public speaking. A lot of young people wish to actually make great presentations and talk in public, but sometimes do not have the right skills to do so. Are some people born naturally to be good public speakers, or everyone has to learn to be a good public speaker, if I might say? I'll be speaking with, of course, the one and only Ibrahim Mustapha. Does this name ring a bell? Of course it does. He's the best person to always give us the great context, knowledge, and information on anything public speaking. Let's go for a break. When we are back, we start the conversation. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from the break. Like I said earlier on, we'll be looking at public speaking and how young people can speak in public effectively. And not just young people, even adults. There are times that people go for work presentations or go for conferences and they are unable to speak well. And sometimes they are shivering, and they might even think that, oh, this man is not good, he's not intelligent, but not that, just because he doesn't have that skill. Thank you very much for joining us on the show. I am.
I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on the show.
Great to always have you on the show. We want to look at public speaking. When we say public speaking, what is it all about?
Right, thank you once again. My name is Ibrahim, Mustapha, public speaking coach and a digital skills trainer. So back to that question. But still, I don't want to go into definitions of things, but I just want to make it simple for you to understand. We used to think that public speaking is about speaking to a lot of people in public, but what we are doing now, we are doing public speaking.
Wow.
Because you may even take a phone and you start recording yourself in your room. The next minute, the next hour, you are speaking to 1 million people on social media. So it's public speaking. So in short, public speaking is just you speaking to one person or to a million people.
So even the next person I'm talking to, that's public speaking.
It's public
but
speaking.
That's not just to yourself.
That's not just to yourself, because the person consumes the information. The person can take the information to the next level. So I may be speaking to only you, but then the reality is that you will take the information to the next person and next person. And believe you me, it could just be a phone. You alone in your room, talking to yourself, and the next moment
have 100 views, 1,000 views,
1,000 views, and that stays forever. So in short, that's public speaking.
Are some people naturally born to be public speakers? Is it like one of those talents that you say, oh, me dear, I didn't have to learn anything. They just gave birth to me, now I can speak in public?
I don't think I can go into that.
Okay.
But the reality is that everybody is giving birth with a mouth. So what's the purpose of the mouth?
But some are shy. Some can speak to the next person.
Right. We can talk about the shyness.
Okay.
And not shy or born or whatever. But the reality is that everybody is born to speak.
Okay.
Even those who, excuse me to say, who are physically challenged, who are deaf and dumb, they still speak. They may not use their mouth. They may not use their mouth. And that's where public speaking is about. It's not only about opening your mouth to talk, but it's about gestures.
Communication.
If I say this, 1, 2, right? I'm communicating to you. I may not open my mouth, and that's the purpose of speaking. We have verbal, non-verbal, and all this comes into public speaking. So everybody, if you are listening to me, you are born to speak. But the reality is that whether you are a good speaker or bad speaker, we can talk about that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so now let's just delve straight into that.
Yes.
What makes one a good public speaker?
What makes one a good public speaker is when you speak for people understand you. Because public speaking is about communication.
When people understand.
Yes.
Okay.
If people get to understand what you are talking about, so they understand you are a public speaker. But the difference is that There are people who are afraid, they are shy to stand in front of the many people to speak. But the real reason why people speak is to let people understand what they want or what they mean. So if you are home and you are able to communicate and people get to understand you, then you are a good speaker or a bad speaker. I organize a lot of programs. I've coached ministers, member of parliaments, pastors. I'm a Muslim, but I coach pastors to speak, and lawyers, PhD students. And one thing I've realized is that when someone calls me and says, "Oh, I'm afraid to speak," there are times I'll just pick one person, and within a day, the person is good. Right.
Wow.
So the question is, was the person a bad speaker or a good speaker? So we'll talk about fear. So if you are home, and I've also this story, I picked a speaker in one of my events. I gave him the opportunity because a big CEO. Some of the CEOs who cannot speak, listen to this. The first 30 minutes was a disaster. When he started, because he is a CEO, I was like assuming that like, oh, he's good because he has won awards and stuff. But first 30 minutes, he was fumbling with the slides. He was shivering. You could see him physically shaking. And but the last 30 minutes, it was great. So the first 30 minutes, the rating was poor. Everybody knew that this was afraid. But the last 30 minutes, he had a standing ovation.
So, what changed along the line?
So the question I want to maybe re-ask you as the host, or just to that question is, was he a good speaker or a bad speaker? Right. So maybe it's just who will do. But then I will say that I can't judge him. And you can't judge anybody, whether the person is a good speaker or a bad speaker, until you give them the opportunity to speak, for you to know whether the person is good or bad. So you may be a bad speaker today, with a little trick or coaching, then you can become a great speaker in moments. It's all in the mind.
Okay. So with what you just said, I have established that continuous practice can perfect somebody's public speaking skills.
Yes, continuous practice can perfect your skill, and also a little trick, information, maybe coaching, what to do, how to do what to do, can also help you to speak in public. So helping, practicing, all comes into what? Making you a good speaker.
What is the difference between public speaking and speaking loudly or being confident in speaking?
So do you limit it to confidence or speaking loudly?
I'm just asking.
Right. So I think
or it's an attribute of public speaking.
Yes, it's an attribute. Confidence is an attribute of public speaking. But there are people who may be confident, but they cannot speak in public.
Okay.
So it's a skill. Public speaking itself is a skill. For example, if you want to drive a car, and you have the zeal to drive a car, and you feel like, I have the confidence to drive the car, and they give you the steering wheel, you are just going to be inside. You have the confidence but cannot move the car. It's the same with public speaking. You may have the confidence, and you see people go on stage and everything vanishes in their mind. They have the confidence, they've gone on stage, but everything has evaporated just because of one or two reasons. So yes, you may be confident. It's good for public speaking because confidence will take you to the stage. By experience and skills, what you have to tell will make the difference. So it's not just about going on stage, but it's about what you say. So public speaking moves a little further from confidence. You may have the confidence, but you need to move a little further. Use your experience, inspire people, and be able to make a difference. And that's where public speaking comes in.
Okay, so now let's go to a bit of a let's go to the basic, like in the classroom.
Right.
When you pick up someone, what are some of the things you notice are the common problem in people who are yet to learn public speaking?
Right. So when I pick people, like anyone who comes to me for coaching, the first question is, why do you want to speak? I've turned down people who want to speak. They have money. They just want to do public speaking, and they can't even explain why they want to speak. and it like if your vision is slow, I don't think I'll waste time on you. Like I want to go to the office and start to make presentations. No, public speaking moves up like this. There are more benefits to public speaking than that. You want to change your life. You have a bigger vision about why you want to speak. You have like a purpose. So when I pick anyone and I want to do the coaching, the first thing I ask is, why do you want to speak? And why are you not speaking? Yes, why are you not speaking? And what I've realized among all the people I've coached, number one is our community plays a big role in our speaking. So you realize that, back to the second question you asked, are public speaking people born to speak or naturally, whatever it is? When you go to, and I've done trainings across like all school levels, nursery, primary, junior, senior, universities, wherever.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that when you go to primary, nursery class, almost everybody's a public speaker.
Okay.
They are vocal. They can disturb.
And the teachers are even asking them to
keep quiet. But when they grow up to a certain level, primary 6, they start holding back. You see the young guy who used to be vocal, disturbing, running, and reserved. And junior high school, you go there, they are just quiet like this. Senior high school, they are afraid of the teachers. So it tells you that, yes, we are all born to speak, but our community, our society, even the religion sometimes makes a big difference. Are you limited? Are they encouraging you to open up? When you start to speak, even in church, for example, in church or mosques, if you are there and your little girl starts singing, you say, shut up.
I remember the episode with Scholar, he said the same thing. I was watching it, I laughed.
Right, you just say, shut up. Especially if it's a song that is maybe above board.
Yes, you can't say Aketesia in church, of course.
The pastor is busy preaching and you just get a young, you may even get a slap. Right, so all these things contribute to people being reserved. So you will think that the society never wants you to speak. So you feel like, wow, it's like these people, they have a mindset about speaking. And you see everybody quiet. Right. Like, so it makes a big difference. Our society, our community, our religion, and the perceptions that we have also plays a major role in our speaking.
That's a kind of audience we have, like, play a role in the kind of way a public speaker. So maybe if I'm going to a school for a session, and I'm going to, let's say, a conference as a main speaker, does my audience influence the way I should speak?
Yes, it influences a lot. There was a day, like within a week, 3 days, I did a training program from the same public speaking trainings. Nursery, not nursery, primary, senior high school, and also to corporate workers. The same training, public speaking, but it differs. The training, there was differences. Why? Because in the primary school, you need to let them
be themselves,
jovial, confidence, running around, like just opening up. Senior high school is a quite different thing altogether. You have to also like introduce them to public confidence, let them open up still. But the corporate level, it was a different game changer. So the delivery styles will differ based on your audience. So as a public speaker or whatever you are going to do, the first thing you should ask is, who are my audience? If they ask you to come and speak, who are my audience? Who am I going to speak to? And what do they want? And sometimes you go further. If maybe there's an organization that wants me to do a training, after asking them who are my audience, I'll even ask them how much are they paid? Their income level. What's their income bracket? So say like if it is 2,000, from 1,000 to 2,000 or 500 to 2,000, and there's an income bracket 10,000 above, then the delivery even changes. They may be adults, but their income level, what they take at home,
influences their mentality,
influence their
the thing
mentality.
they have access
Yes.
to.
So if you are preparing, you need to take all this into consideration. What do they need? What will they want? What is their income level, and how will that influence their mind? Because public speaking is all about changing the mindsets of people. So if your income level is like you are taking 300 cities home to 500 cities, right? You may not even be looking at luxury. So there are some where someone will even tell you and say, you don't even believe in them, right? But the higher you go, and it's quite nice when you get to that level where you are speaking to people who are the income brackets of like 100,000 and above. The understanding is level different. You may be afraid, yes, understand, like with them.
You, the public speaker crowd,
Yeah,
you'll be
happy. No, you'll be happy.
You'll be happy
because the type of questions they will ask differs.
And it may be easier to answer.
Easier, like when you are speaking to people whose income bracket is low, they'll ask you definition questions. What is science? Not because they want to know, right? But because they want to just know whether you know.
Wow.
They want to know whether you know. But when you're speaking to,
like they want to compete with you.
They want to compete. They want to just try to put in a shoe.
To feel that they are self. So it's about an ego and pride thing.
So they will even Google questions and ask you. But the higher income level, they want to know. They ask questions that will benefit them. They'll ask questions like, how can I be a good speaker? How can I change lives? It's not like they will start. So differences in audience makes a big difference as a speaker. And anybody can speak.
Anybody can. Sometimes I see someone, I think there was a day someone asked, someone saw one of your flyers and asked me on my status and asked to contact you, and I was like, hey, look at the price on it, and I was like, this is even cheap, because at the end of the day, the kind of knowledge you are going to receive, and I think that was the Ghana rate, and right. I was like, outside places they value these content, so they are able to push in so much money in them.
Excuse me to say this, if you see my programs now, like 3 years back, I used to be everywhere. So universities, just everywhere, primary schools. But these days, no, I don't speak. Like I always speak at events organized by my people I mentor. Maybe you have an event. This guy, that a lot of people also. So I just come in and that supports. Because the thing is, you also need money. So if I put one course there, and people are buying it for $100, and I'm just sitting down, they are buying my course. The same, why will I waste time going to speak? So you see that if I even accept people from Ghana, it's just like I want to help.
There's something I want to do.
I want to help because I know what public speaking can do, how it has helped me, and how it can help change, like not one person, but the whole society, the narrative that we give ourselves.
I think in general, we as Africans, we find it difficult paying for service. Somebody can go and buy a phone of 12,000, 13,000 Ghana cedis, and they feel that, Charlie, I have a phone. But if somebody is providing a service and say it's 1,000 cedis, then we feel it's expensive. Before we come back to that, I want us to go for a break. We'll be right back.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Mark is King for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle and many more.
Welcome back from the break. My hair and makeup is by In-Depth Beauty Salon here in Tamale. We are recording at the SWAT International Kitchen and Bar also here in Tamale on the Agric Traffic Road as well. You can get their contact details on the screen. I'll be giving out their contact details as well. They have intercontinental dishes and local dishes. So if you want a place to cool off, a place to eat anything, just get in touch with SWAT International Kitchen and Bar for all amazing dishes, cocktail drinks, and then the catfish, point and grill challenge. And the all right, coach, what is the time range? So when you pick someone and the person cannot speak or something, how long will it take me to be a good public speaker?
Yeah, as it's about your willingness to do what you have been told to do.
Okay.
So I can take some people and within 3 hours, they are good speakers. Believe me, there are a lot of people who can speak English and they are afraid to make mistakes. Their mindset is telling them that when they stand up, they cannot speak and a lot of things. So first thing is to try to eliminate that from their mind, to let them know that now I speak and I don't care whether I make mistakes or not. So I just keep flowing. Right, because English is not my mother tongue.
Yeah, you can make a mistake at a point. Sometimes even on air it happens. You make a mistake. And
So,
I remember there was this episode I was saying something and I wanted to say, you know what is amazing and what is nice. And by the time I said, you know what is a nice year, it was when I was watching the episode airing that I was like, hey, Charlie, so I didn't know that. But later on, it felt so normal. But so I think that when you are afraid to make a mistake, you are able to actually work on what you can do better.
When your mindset tells you that when you make mistakes, people will laugh at you. So you are always reserved. Right, but English is not, if I'm speaking my local dialect, I can fire and backfire, but I'm okay with that. Why would I speak English, which is not my language, and I'm afraid to make mistakes? So first, if you take that away from the participants, you start seeing action. Right, I have someone who perhaps was behind working on the TV station as a secretary. Something like secretary, so like she is comfortable writing, editing news and stuff, but she's afraid to speak. Just a 1 hour session, the next day she was on air. Right, so it tells you, and the other thing is the hunger to do more. So many people let speaking stop them from greatness, and the reality is that any word that we say can change someone's life.
Wow.
So there are some times that people can speak, but they are afraid to speak. But if you speak, you can stop someone from committing suicide. There's someone who is just there depressed. The person's lost everything. The person, and no one is saying good things about the person. And the person just wants a word from someone to say, you can do it. So if you are in a position to save a life, you are not a doctor, but to save a life with your voice, won't you do it?
I will.
So if you are delaying your power to speak in public because of 10 people, 100 people that you don't know, you are afraid to stand in front of people to speak, then you are going to lose everything. Believe you me, we are all complaining in Ghana, right? That things are not the way we want them to be. Yes, because we allow some few people just to stand in, because they can stand in front of us and say they are politicians and tell us what to do.
Yeah.
Right, then we give them the chance. So it's public speaking, which
They
is
come and use grammar and confuse
grammar.
you and you easily understand what they are
Yes.
saying.
So to be a good leader, you need
You
public
need-
speaking, whether it's church, mosques, whatever. And the people that you speak to, the way you say what you say, if I see your audience, I will know that you
Okay.
are impacting in them or not.
Yeah.
Believe me, when you look at I follow religious people. I follow Joel Austin.
Yeah.
I follow T.G. Jakes. I follow
Sarah Jakes Roberts, my
right.
favorite.
I follow a lot of people, right? And also Mufti Menk. When you see the people who follow them, you know that yes, these are people that are getting the right information. But you also see people who follow people like, excuse me to say, Obinim.
Please, I beg.
Right.
Nobody-
No, like it makes a difference. You try to know their
Okay.
audience. So public speaking makes a difference. No matter what you do, no matter where you are. I've worked with civil servants. I've coached civil servants. And before I coach them, I'll ask them, do you know that there are people in your organization who get appointments, who get promotion, but you are qualified than them? Your certificate is better than them. You have the experience than them. They say, yes, it happens. And they say, it's and that's corruption. No. They say corruption. People are favoring. No, most of the time it's not corruption. Now, the next question I'll ask is, if you are the manager of this organization, and you have the opportunity to choose one person to go to US to speak on behalf of the organization, will you choose someone who has experience or someone who can speak and defend your organization? And they'll sit quietly and say, I'll pick someone who has the ability to speak. And I said, that's what things happen. Sometimes you just go to a meeting, and because you mention your name well, not only your name well,
yeah, how you
get
carry
opportunities.
yourself.
You get opportunities, and that's how it is. In class, it happens. People who answer questions get all the opportunities. So public speaking is something that can help you. It's a skill that can help you move to the next step. No matter who you are, whether you're a doctor, whether you're a nurse, whether you are a teacher, whether you're a lecturer, whether you are even the president of Ghana, the way you speak can make a difference in your audience.
Yeah, it's like sometimes when you're giving a presentation and you actually feel that the people are listening, it encourages you to speak and do better.
Yes.
When you're talking and people are like, you're like, hey, Charlie, what I'm saying, am I sure that they're actually listening?
Sometimes it also depends on the mindset. So as a speaker, now I'm speaking to speakers.
Yeah.
When you go to an event and there are 3 or 2 speakers, and they are speaking and they are clapping, or other people are speaking, they are clapping, and people are happy, are laughing, you may feel like, it's like they don't like me. When I was speaking, no one was laughing and clapping. Like, no one even clapped. You are 2 different speakers. Someone may be a comedian.
Yeah.
Right? But then, if you are to speak, it's not everything that you say that people will understand. And they will even take it. But my intention is I'm going to change one person in the audience. So the more you start, you keep on speaking, just say that today I'm going to change someone's life. Then they may be sitting there, if they are sitting somewhere, you need to bring your audience alive. There are techniques and strategies to do that. But the first thing is, how can I make an impact in one person's life? How can I change someone's thinking? So that from today, the person will start their TV station and say, I can do it. Sort of saying there's no capital. Sort of saying there's no hope.
This one is a direct shade.
Yes, it's like you, and like a lot of people have the talent to do what they do.
The energy.
But they are not putting the energy into it, and they feel like someone is better than them. And I've experienced that. I've helped a lot of people start their businesses in Tamale. A lot of people, from TV stations, radio stations, like different businesses. And I can tell you, it's the mindset.
It's the mindset.
If your mind says you can do it, you can do it. And I'm using public speaking. So it's just anybody can do whatever they want to do.
When it comes to presentation,
yes.
So when I'm invited to an event,
yes.
What are some of the things or the tips I have to do to have a great presentation at the end of the day?
Presentations differ from the type of presentations you want to do.
Okay.
Maybe you want to speak in a church. There are rules and regulations there. Maybe it's just like a seminar,
Okay.
motivational seminar, business seminar, all of this, even if it's a funeral. You can be invited to speak, like just speak impromptu. There are things that you need to do
Okay.
to bring your audience alive. So if it's a seminar, you are speaking to students or even corporate workers or whatever it is. If you ask questions, you get your audience engaged. If you feel like audience are sleeping, they are not taking part, and that's why when it gets to the middle of the presentation, good speakers will say, repeat after me. You are great. And then people say, you are great. Oh, I'm great. I'm the best. They say, I'm the best. I'm a billionaire. When you say the billionaire, say, everybody, I'm a
everybody
billionaire.
say.
So you get their attention and you keep on. There are other things that you can also do. Icebreakers. Right. You can just do icebreakers. Let's clap. Let's do some stand up. Let's like just to be able to bring your audience into. And you can also use slides. And maybe one day we'll go deep into why people are, you go on stage and you feel blank.
Okay, just a bit of that.
Yes,
Please,
you
I
are,
want to learn that for myself.
yes, you are not prepared enough. You don't even
Okay.
know how to start your presentation.
Okay.
So there are ways that you can start. There are ways that you can prepare and nothing will ever go wrong because you are prepared. If you are good in reading manuscript, you write your own script. If you are not good in reading, you just do points. That's extemporaneous delivery. You use PowerPoint or stuff. Or sometimes you can even use your phone. You are looking through the words and you are going through the agenda. Some people memorize. It's not good for me.
I even in school, I don't know how to put it. That thing, I have never been able to keep something in my mind.
Yes.
For like just chew the thing. No,
Yes.
it has never worked for me.
It has worked, but you don't realize that it has worked.
No, but unless I'm doing like a time, maybe for some time.
Can you sing a song?
Oh, but that one,
I'm coming, yes.
Yes, but
Yes.
you listen to the song a lot of time before it sticks.
Definitely. So you're putting it
But
in.
it's not conscious.
It's not it's subconscious. So and you need to train. You need to
Okay.
practice. If you are not good like memorizing like me, you have to do it countless number of times. I've trained poets. I've trained artists, like people who sing. You know, if you are singing, sometimes it's easy to mime. But most of the artists you see, when they say go to a live band, that's where they struggle because the words are not there. Right? It's their song, but it's not there like that. So when you give any artist a spotlight, they say just sing. They are going to remember one song or verse that they can sing well.
Now they'll be there and they'll be playing their beat and they'll do like this.
Right. And it happens to a lot of, when you look at listening to Sako, even Rapaholic, there are times that he'll be rapping and like we just have to.
I think the songs are many, so you might forget some of the words.
But then you have to keep rehearsing and practicing and practicing and practicing before that can happen. So if you are good, you can do that. Do. If you are not good, to just stick to whatever you want and know your introduction well. If you are going to start a program or a seminar or what, how do you start? Some people go on stage and they want to figure it out. So they say, okay, let's welcome Martha Anabila, and you go on stage. Now that you want to know, what am I going to say first? Even though you have your points prepared, but you don't know how to start. So you can start by introducing yourself. Get up on stage. Oh, my name is Ibrahim Mustapha. I'm a public speaking coach. Today, I'm here to what? Let you appreciate the power of speaking.
Or you can even acknowledge the previous speakers. That's one. If you are not
the two
the
is
first
you can thank the organizers.
Yes.
I want to thank the organizers for whatever. 3, you can even start with a quotation, Bible verse or Quranic verse, and that's what religion. You see that you come and start Bible verse. Today we are taking off whatever from John chapter or Quran chapter whatever. So they are starting. They know that this, when I come, this is what I'm going to say. Or sometimes greet the audience. So there are a lot of ways, 110 ways that you can start off your presentation. So that when you go, you don't get blank. So you need to know, understand this. It's a business. Public speaking is a business. So if you take it lightly, you take it lightly. And you go and make mistakes. You go and disgrace your whole community, I'm telling you. Yes, you can go and disgrace the whole country.
Wow.
Your whole country, like, we've not seen that. The artists will go, they want to read, they're not even seeing the words.
And I think that we have tried to make people who chew in a particular way seem intelligent. So if you are the outspoken person, you are not really seen as intelligent. So everybody do not want to be outspoken. They want to chew the book. They have the first class and they have everything. That is what people want to see them as. So do you think that that kind of way is the reason why some of us might not want to always go and learn public speaking out there?
No, yes, you may be right, but that's a populist opinion. But I believe that most people want to figure out the hard way. They want to just feel like, yes, because I can speak, when I go on stage, it should come naturally. No, there are people, when you go on stage, there are different faces. Someone was telling me that, someone I am coaching told me that, what if the people are more experienced than me? What if the people have, like, you are a doctor or a young nurse, and you are going to speak to people who have PhD in nursing? How will you feel? I say, no, that's not a problem. The problem is that you need to focus on you. You need to appreciate that this is what I have. If I fall short, they may add to me. So yes, it's a mindset game. But then also, like I said, it's a cultural thing in a way. Because when you do researches, when you see young people from different countries like America and Europe, it's a different world game together, even though they are still afraid. I've done trainings in different places, I've conducted trainings in different countries, and I can tell you there are a lot of people fear to speak. But when you compare, do the analysis, because other places, they take public speaking serious. We know that Obama was a good speaker, but he has never gone on stage without his coach. Telling him, public speaking coach, telling him, do this, do that. Yes, stand here, stand there. And that's internationally, like, programs have organized. Before you go on stage in some international events, the day before you have to go and practice one.
Wait, hey.
Yes, that's one. Two, you have and that's why education is important in some places. Someone is a program director. Someone is in charge of the stage alone. So the person will come. They told me I have to be the stage director, right? So I said, who is the stage director? We've already practiced. No. Then she came in and said, that her audience. She wants the audience here to understand. So that's why they sell VIP tickets for events and popular tickets. So I said that this audience are VIP members. So make sure that you always stand here. And she kind of like did a virtual line. Stand here, always speak to them. This, when you get to the middle, go here and stand for this. But never get to this point. That was just a rule. Tell me where to stand in my presentation at this particular point in time, the first 5 minutes, the first 10 minutes, where to be.
Wow.
So it makes it lively. So that's why someone is speaking online, or maybe TEDx events, and you like the presentation because the person has been coached to do all those things. But here we want to figure it out the hard way. So you see someone speaking, the person will turn their back, doing all the unnecessary things, putting their hand in the buckets, right? But it's a stagecraft. So if you take it seriously, you can change a lot of
go on stage with their personal pose. Oh, sorry, I got NDR.
Right. So, and that's how other places they take public speaking serious. You have to go and practice. You need the stage director. You need to let people know in advance the type of slides you are going to use. If you are using video, and they would sometimes they even import things just for you, your presentation, to make it lively, because it's all about interaction. It's an entertainment. It's an entertainment. Public speaking is a sort of entertainment. If you do it well, I'm telling you, a lot of people will benefit.
And even how I remember there was a day I was watching a TV program, one of these stations.
Yeah.
And the presenter was talking. Of course, sometimes you will have to press your phone for some information of the next question. But the phone was like this. It was on a sofa.
Right.
And his phone rang.
Right.
Like not vibrational. The phone rang. Then he got distracted. He was trying to press it. Then the call came again. Then he picked the call live on TV
Okay.
and told the person that, "Hello, I'll call you back. I'm on set." and the person was trying. I think if I didn't hear, it was like, "Oh, please hold on. I'll call," for like 10 seconds. And I'm like, who does that? Of course, it's on TV, but I felt that as public speaking to the audience who are watching you.
Right.
So, carrying that to what you are saying on stage, do you think it's correct to even go on stage with your personal phone when you know that you can't even pick up the call in the first place? So, how come a TV presenter, of course, once in a while we go on set with our phones, but that is for probably for just quick information from the producer or something.
Right.
But why should you pick a phone call live on TV?
So there are 2 or 3 or 4 different things that will come into mind. If you are doing maybe a live like we are doing, and you have audience who are sending you information, you may have your phone to just like social media and all those
go
stuff.
through social media.
So, but then if it is a international event like TEDx, they will never allow you to send your phone up on stage.
Yeah.
So they have to take the phone because they don't want distractions. So that after presentation, so there's a place they call it the dark room or whatever room before you go in to speak. So once you get there, they take your phones and you get to speak. But as a speaker, you need to make sure that you don't get distracted when you are speaking. And you need to give your audience that attention. So you need to carry yourself. Just know that this is me. If there's something that you want to do with your phone, maybe an illustration, you can probably carry it. It will be there, but like put it on flight mode.
Yeah.
So that once you are speaking and you want to use the phone, and let me have this phone. So maybe I'm speaking and I want to give an example. Okay, you can use these smartphones to create opportunities for yourself. As young people in Africa, you can use smartphones to create jobs, to make millions of dollars with your smartphone. So use your smartphone well. So I'm using to do an illustration, and like you can
As soon as
you are done, yes. But don't let it be a distraction. Sorry for that. So you need to just stand up, and you need to make that change.
You need to stand up and you need to make that change. We just need to wrap up. I was thinking we could go for a last break, but I think our time is getting up. So we just wrap up. The tidbits that we can have at the back of our minds about public speaking, because it's something that we've not really taken seriously. And how can parents, I would always want my young people and my mentees out there to learn more than the adults. So how can parents help their children to learn effective public speaking?
Right. So as parents, I'm not a parent yet, but what I can tell you is that no matter who you are, whether you are a parent or not, public speaking is key. And you can even use public speaking as a source of income to yourself and to your family. So there are tips that you can perhaps let people appreciate. Number 1 is reading aloud. So if you have some material, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's a motivational book, you want to, the first 10 minutes you read aloud. It helps you to speak freely. It helps you when you want to flow well. It helps you sometimes when you are speaking and like those distractions. It helps you to get over those things. Your pronunciations, you get it well. And once you even read more and keep on reading, people start asking you, are you from UK? Are you from US? Just because you read and you know the words very well. You know how to pronounce the words very well. So that's number 1. Number 2 is you can use camera, your phone. Record yourself, delete until you get better. Number 3 is just believe that you can do it. Know that the little that you will say, the little 2-3 words that you will mention out can change someone's life. And it can help your children. Society, we see people going wayward, and all we do is to shout at them. Oh, someone is smoking, whatever, we taking alcohol, and people are doing behaviors that we don't like. The best we can do is to use public speaking. First of all, love them. Let them know that they are appreciated. and use your experience to let them know that they can get over whatever they are going through. And that will get a lot of young people doing the right things, believing in themselves and knowing that there's a future. And we can only do that through public speaking. We cannot do that by just, no, it's public speaking, to inspire people, to give them hope, to let them know that what they are going through, you've gone through it, and then there's a better future. So public speaking is key. Sharing your experience is the best. So whatever experiences you have gone through in school, whatever, you still need that, and that's why you need to speak in public. If you are suffering your organization, maybe because you are not speaking well, you are not inspired enough, you need to change a place of work and use public speaking to get the next promotion that you need. It's not just you can go and do your top up, right? You can go and do your top up at UCC or where, but I'm telling you,
my school.
opportunities will not come like that. They'll just give you 200 series.
Oh.
Like, right, you've gone to, you're having first degree, you've gone to do masters, and then the top up is 200 series. There are no opportunities, but then speaking can make a difference. So one story I like most is, there was a young guy who approached me because I speak, and once you speak, people naturally consult you for so he called me and said, oh, I've been monitoring your Facebook, LinkedIn, and I want you to mentor me. But there's one thing I want to do. I want to go for a tattoo. What do you have to say? I woke up and I said, well, I can't advise you because I don't have one. So I said, let me call a friend I know who is having a tattoo for the past 10 years. Let's hear what the person will say. So I organized a meeting between myself, the tattoo guy, and the little one. So I said, oh, this is a young fan. He wanted to do a tattoo, but he wants an advice. But I don't have one, but I can't advise. He said, my brother, when you are young, you feel like, wow, this is the best thing. You do it, no one can. Let me do what I want. So he said, that's his experience. To him, he prayed that, yes, he wished he had never done that. So if he is going to do it now, he shouldn't do it. So I said, maybe you have your answer there. I can't say anything. So, and those are the experiences that we need to let people know. Yes, maybe you want to start smoking, right? Get to someone who has done that
and see what
and ask questions.
So whatever you want to go into, get someone who's already into it and get but if you are get someone who is so crazy.
I'm not saying you should just take every opinion. Sample them and just look at the pros and cons and know, can you handle them? Then you go into it.
Thank you so much. It's been amazing having you on the Reflection Show again. This time alone, not with Cola. My hair makeup is by Endup's Beauty Salon. We're recording here at the SWAT International Kitchen and Bar here in Taman. You can get their contact details on your screen for any activity that you want to have and you want an open space or just a normal lunch or dinner with your friends and family. This is the best place to come. We've been looking at public speaking, how all of us can do better in the public speaking field and how we can encourage more other young people to speak greatly in public, and also just some tidbits to add up to what you already know, what you already have, and the skills that you already have. We're still calling, of course, on partners and sponsors for the Reflection Show. Give us a call on 054-9578-512 for great packages to join the team of the Reflection Show to bring great content and education to more young people out there. I believe that this episode has been life-changing, has been life-transforming. And don't forget, Martha Inspires on YouTube. Get there and you get all our other episodes and also episodes of Thoughts from Martha Inspires, my weekly motivational videos as well. Thank you for watching. My name is Martha Anabila. Do have a good night.
Books by Pastor A.L. Fant. They are inspired by the Holy Spirit, simple to comprehend, relevant in application, and so lovely to read. Grab copies like Dynamics of Kingdom Influence, Dynamics of Ministry, Marking Scheme for Church Workers, Money Matters, and she calls herself a woman. This marriage must work. No more curses. Loaded mouth. Secrets of Kingdom Dominion. The exploits of service. Things fall apart. Church without bleeding pulpit. Singles mingle, and many more.